Across the bridge from that crossing, they found a sandal, a little kid's sandal.
The warning was there, but did they even get it? And would it have saved them? Tonight, an unbelievable flash flood tragedy. An entire Valley family caught off guard. 9 killed, some of them left helplessly to watch their loved ones overpowered. ABC 15 has live team coverage tonight honoring a large family lost and checking in with a heartbroken community. We're taking action on tonight's big story and the miracle we're all hoping for to find a young survivor.
And just a heartbreaking day for Arizona. So many lives lost and many communities touched by this tragedy.
Family goes out for a weekend of fun, not knowing most would not come home, swept away by that wall of water in Payson, killing 9 people, and tonight 1 person still missing.
But first, we are in weather action mode, and we know that you see the lightning out there. We'll get over to Chief Meteorologist Amber Solins now. Amber?
Yeah, and the rain is coming down hard. The threat for more flooding still there. Multiple watches and warnings issued right now across the valley and across the state. Take a look at the strongest area. This is the East Valley. A severe thunderstorm warning just expiring there minutes ago, but the rain is still coming down, and it is coming down hard. As we zoom in and take a closer look at some of these precipitation rates, we're talking the possibility of over 3 inches an hour. Now, it won't last that long, but the rainfall totals are going to be significant with this. And we're seeing new pop-ups now near Sunny Slope, Alhambra, and out farther to the west toward Litchfield Park, where we have lots of lightning in the mix as well. So this is going to be ongoing here across the valley for a while. High winds, one of the biggest threats. Gust right now being reported in Scottsdale at 47 miles per hour. They were over 60, though, coming out of the foothills areas as this storm first blew in about an hour ago. So we look at these threats: damaging winds, heavy rain, flooding, high on our threat index risks here for tonight and for tomorrow as these storm chances continue. The flood alerts still ongoing. Much of the central part and southern part of our state, including right here in the valley, under flash flood watch until tomorrow night, and multiple flash flood warnings, including for that area affected yesterday with flash flooding, and a new one now south of there till 12:30 in the morning. So the risk is still there for flooding across our state tonight and even into tomorrow.
Thank you. We do want to get back to that heartbreak in Payson now. Just minutes ago, a family member shared the names of the victims and memories about them.
ABC 15's Raquel Cervantes kicks off our team coverage for us tonight. Raquel, it's hard to even imagine what this family is feeling.
It is just a terrible, devastating loss. We're learning that the family was out there celebrating a birthday yesterday. We're talking about a mother, a father, their kids, a grandmother, and tonight we know their names. For the first time, we're getting a look at one of the innocent lives swept away in a devastating flash flood. A family member speaking to azcentral.com says the weekend was supposed to be one to celebrate.
It's my brother's wife's birthday today, so it was a getaway birthday weekend to celebrate her birthday. They were just driving out yesterday.
Family members tell us 13-year-old Jonathan Leon was one of those victims. An entire family lost.
My brother's brother-in-law, Julio, holding his daughter on a branch or a bush. I don't know what it was.
The wall of water came rushing quickly, pushing debris along with it.
And then the lady's just pointing that there's this father with the baby and the mother and the older son. They're up top of a rock, and you can see him there. And he told us he was pulling my nephew, Danny, but he let him go, and it's not his fault.
Miguel Garnica and his wife Maria Raya were killed, along with their kids, 3-year-old Emily and 5-year-old Mia. Maribel Raya and her 2-year-old daughter Erica also killed, along with 14-year-old Javier Raya and Celia Garcia, a mother to 3. Now rescuers are still searching for 27-year-old Hector Garnica. The search was called off for the night, but will continue at 6 o'clock in the morning. Now family members are just anxiously hoping that he is okay. Live in the Stats Center, Raquel Cervantes, ABC 15, Arizona.
Raquel, thanks. And all of Payson grieving along with them tonight after this huge loss.
And hearing that pain in that woman's voice, too, you can just imagine this. ABC 15's Lexi Suter spoke to witnesses and residents, people who tried to help in all of this, and they're still in shock tonight, Lexi.
A huge wave of water and debris came coming down this mountain, sweeping away 14 people just about a half a mile from where I am standing right now. Now, these people were just out here enjoying their Saturday, a family function. It's a popular local spot, and people here tell me they have never had anything like this happen.
Across the bridge from that crossing, they found a sandal, a little kid's sandal.
Albert Masterson will never forget the way this water looked.
The wall of water, I was behind my house on my deck, and the wall of water that came down when I heard it coming was a good 4 feet with debris, all big, huge logs as big as trees.
A sea of black filled with ash and wood from the charred land left by the Highline fire. It swept 14 people away. 4 were rescued by helicopter, 9 found dead, and 1 man still out here.
We loaded up our canopy and coffee and water and everything. We've been set up here since about 5, 6 o'clock this morning, all day.
While about 40 volunteers from the Tonto Rim Rescue Team work tirelessly, the people of Payson providing any kind of support.
I want Elise to help somebody. I want Elise do something. I don't care. I just want to help.
This tight-knit mountain town rocked by tragedy and still in a very state of shock that something so awful happened at a favorite local spot.
It's really a tragedy. You know, I feel so sorry for this family. My heart goes out to all of them, you know, anyone that's involved with this. It's just horrible, just horrible.
The search will resume at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I did just speak with the Gila County Sheriff's Office. They tell me this is still a rescue effort. This is not a recovery. Everyone here truly holding out hope they find that last young man alive. Reporting in Payson tonight, Lexi Suter, ABC 15, Arizona.
We want to get you a better perspective of that search area, a wide view from Air 15, and the camera's going to zoom into Ground Zero. Again, this is northeast of Payson, right along Ellison Creek, which merges nearby with the East Verde River. Maybe you've heard of Water Wheel Campground in this part of the Tonto Creek National Forest. It's known for its waterfalls and beautiful trails out there. We'll map that out for you in just a moment, but first, ABC 15's Megan Thompson has been the closest to the search area for us tonight.
She's joining us to talk logistics here and more specifics on the determined attitudes behind the rescue operation. Megan?
Determined is the perfect word to describe all of the people who have come out here. And in fact, they were able to save 4 people who are now here recovering at the hospital tonight from hypothermia. Now, despite all of the odds, they say they are hoping for that miracle tonight that Lexi was just mentioning, and they are going to fight until they get it. They are the people tasked with the title of hero, and it's one they don't take lightly, especially now.
I don't recall anything of this magnitude. Nothing like this. Nothing like this.
The flash flood water surprising swimming hole guests, Mother Nature's monsoon, and the recent Highline fire behind what made this flood so deadly.
There's very little vegetation and the water just runs right off. So that added to the flash flood. It also added a lot of debris and ash from that fire.
It took the strength of DPS, fire departments, rescue crews, and volunteers to sift through all of it. But while they fight to pull aside that heavy debris, their hearts even heavier.
That weighs on you and that wears you down. It does.
Pulling children as small as 2 years old out of the waters, knowing a family unit can't be restored. But they can help bring some kind of closure, their motivation for the family that is searched right alongside them.
I can't imagine what they're going through. I can't.
And the weather, obviously, raining in the valley, raining across the state, raining right here in Payson tonight. It is just hard and emotional for all people. And we saw so many people in the community just asking if they could come by and volunteer, work alongside those search and rescue teams. It's obvious the whole community is grieving here tonight. The whole state is grieving here tonight, and we know they will not stop fighting until they bring everyone home. Reporting live in Payson tonight, Megan Thompson, ABC 15, Arizona.
So many people pitching in to help there, Megan. Thank you. As she mentioned, we do want to show you exactly where all of this happened, giving you really a view from the valley down here. Payson, about an hour and a half away up north, and it's really a popular spot for people to escape the heat, hit the water. A swimming hole 10 miles outside of Payson is where this happened. So we do want to zoom in a little bit, give you an idea of a closer view of Payson so we can get an idea where this happened. The flash flooding started right here in the junction where the East Verde River meets Ellison Creek. And if you go down here, you can imagine all of the debris flowing. We talked about that swimming hole, Cold Springs, just downstream from there. That's where the debris and the rushing water swept people away, and that's where rescuers were dispatched.
And Kim, sadly, this isn't the first time people have needed to be rescued at the Water Wheel Campground. These pictures show emergency crews getting ready for a swift water rescue there on August 1st of last year. That fast-moving water leaving a muddy mess there almost a year ago. And the viewer who emailed us back then with these pictures, also on the scene at the deadly situation we're covering for you right now. And this tragedy, just a terrible reminder of how important cell phones are. The area where the flooding happened is notoriously bad for cell phone service. So that means calling for help in an emergency is extremely difficult. And in the case of a flash flood warning, the alert may not have even gone through there. So you have to wonder if that was the case yesterday for that family. Our coverage far from over. We're going to be checking in often throughout this newscast, and coming up at 10:30, ways to stay safe when you're out near a source of water in our state. In other words, how to best position yourself to be ready for anything. Also, I talked to a good friend of the family. We'll find out how you can help this family. And then we're taking a very real look at the massive size of this wall of water and also the speed that comes with it. As always, you can stay up to date on our free ABC 15 mobile app, and we'll be live for you in every newscast tomorrow, starting with ABC 15 mornings. Amber?
And Katie, that flash flood watch continues for much of the state, including here in the valley through tomorrow night. Right now, a new severe thunderstorm warning to tell you about. This is for the East Valley, issued just minutes ago. It's in effect until 10:30 tonight. So it does include Mesa, parts of Gilbert, even into Tempe, and parts of East Phoenix. So this is what we're watching as the storm comes down. Even South Scottsdale included in this one. Lots of lightning, hail estimated at about 1/4 inch or so up near the Beeline Highway. And we continue to see this storm develop out to the west. We're seeing it now up and down the 51, the 17, that Litchfield Park cell that popped up getting bigger as we speak and spreading across the West Valley. We have more to track up to the north, and we're going to get a look at your forecast because these storm chances do continue tomorrow, coming up in just minutes. All right, a live look right now at ABC 15 Live Drive, helping us track this storm. You see that Thomas sign just scoot by there. Looks like they're on the Loop 101. This storm is getting very extensive now. Even the isolated pockets we saw in the West Valley, those are getting much bigger and everything's starting to fill in. So if we look at the radar real quick, want to just show you a couple of things on this. That severe thunderstorm warning I told you about just minutes ago, still in effect until 10:30 for the East Valley. Watch out for wind gusts there over 60 miles per hour. That could do some damage. The storm's moving to the south at about 35. And then as we look a little bit farther out to the east, that's where you see it really filling in here. So almost every neighborhood in the valley getting in on rain now, and it will continue to fill in for those of you that are still dry in the far southern portions of the valley. It's coming for you next. We got your full forecast in just minutes.
Yeah, that's massive. We'll keep tracking it. Meantime, they are our greatest generation, the selfless Americans who battled through the Great Depression and then fought in World War II.
Only on ABC 15, a valley vet is turning back the clock, revisiting old memories to see who's still there before it's too late.
ABC 15's Chris Groh takes us on his last mission.
We are enjoying it now because every little thing will trigger a memory.
Today, Fred Handy can flip through his scrapbook with ease. Dozens of photos over time, and every photo a memory.
And its function primarily was to escort convoys, provide anti-submarine and anti-aircraft protection.
Fred was one of about 150 men on board the USS Gallup during World War II. Each man had their own job, running missions in the treacherous Pacific. A lot of time has passed since those days, and Fred, now 93, wonders if there's anyone else around with some of those same memories.
And I thought, oh my goodness, I wonder if any of Grandpa's crewmates are still alive.
And so this picture has now been shared, at first by Fred's granddaughter Helena on Facebook. It's simple, Fred and his ship's name, hoping that he'll find someone out there from his home in Tempe, and then a chance for reconnection.
I was probably one of the youngest on the ship at the time.
He's got so many stories to tell.
Fred has a lot of stories for his crewmen if they're out there. He's a proud dad, grandpa, and great-grandpa, and it's been since...
Probably about 1948 or 49.
Well, since he's seen any of those men. Now Fred is hoping this will reunite them. Reporting in Tempe, Chris Groh, ABC 15, Arizona.
Chris, thank you. Back to our weather now. Look at this shot. We got to show you this thing because it is not sped up. Lightning strike after lightning strike in the East Valley tonight. Quite a light show. This is from one of our coworkers in the Queen Creek, Santan Valley area. I mean, it stayed like this for a while.
Oh, it's still like that now. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
glad to be inside.
It's incredible how much lightning is on the radar right now. Take a look with me. ABC 15 Desert Doppler. And I mean, it's getting to the point where the lightning strikes are kind of taking over. It's hard to even see where the rain is in some areas because it's so concentrated with the lightning strike, especially up in North Scottsdale right now. The severe thunderstorm warning, again, East Valley cities. We're talking Scottsdale, Mesa, parts of Tempe, under this thing until 10:30 tonight. Biggest threat with this severe storm is, of course, the heavy rain, but also the wind gusts that could near 60 miles per hour. Those are potentially damaging winds that you have to watch out for with this as it sinks down to the south. Now, as we go into Phoenix, seeing it now, not as heavy at the airport as it is just north of that area. But again, this is pushing down to the south, so we'll start to really fill up that bucket at our official site here in the next 20 minutes or so. And farther up to the north, seeing that rain really intensify up there as well. This is north of the 101, Cave Creek in on it, Anthem in on it. When you're looking at this radar imagery, the deeper those reds get, the more intense the rainfall is. And if it gets very, very deep, then we also have that chance for hail in the mix as well. Litchfield Park getting in on the lightning, the heavy rain just soaking the valley right now and areas to the north. Now, as we look up there, we still have multiple flash flood warnings in effect. These are the spots in the red. So we see it where the Highline burn scar is. We see it just to the south of there. And we have one out near Overguard as well. The biggest one that encompasses Young out near the Tonto Basin. This one's in effect until after midnight tonight. So I want to walk you through Futurecast here. This is the latest model coming in. It keeps things pretty well filled in here across central Arizona into the overnight hours. As we approach 5:30, that rain lightens up. And then as we get toward about 8 a.m., things start to dry out for Phoenix. The possibility of still a few lingering showers down to the south. So that's what you're going to see on your weather wheel. Tomorrow morning, a slight chance of isolated showers through 8, 9, 10 a.m. as temperatures sit in the upper 80s to low 90s. It might even be cooler than that. If this rain sticks around for a while, it's going to be a nice cool start to the morning. So we'll have to update this as we get closer to midnight tonight. But in the meantime, it still looks like we're going to go up to the upper 90s to low triple digits tomorrow afternoon. Rain chances up to about 30% by 7 p.m., but up to 50% in our late night forecast, like we're seeing out there now, potentially another late night event for us, and a 30% chance for more on Tuesday before some drier air starts to work its way in. That's going to bump storm chances down to 20% Wednesday and Thursday, and then 10% for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So let's take a look at the next few days. 102 for tomorrow, 101 Tuesday. Again, if we see more of this rain stick around for several more hours, then we're going to have to adjust these temperatures, both lows and highs, because that will really work to cool us down. By Wednesday, 103. Then we get warmer from there, and we're going to look at your 7-day coming up in the next half hour. In the meantime, I'm going to keep updating you on the storms that are hitting the valley now. We're going to have more for you coming up after the break. All right, it is a weather action day here at ABC 15, and the valley is getting slammed right now. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning to tell you about. This is for the West Valley, in effect till 10:45 tonight. Of course, we also still have the other one in the East Valley till 10:30. Widespread heavy rain. That's going to lead to ponding on the roadways. We're under a flash flood watch as well. Casa Grande getting in on a little bit of rain right now, but it's nothing compared to what we're seeing here in the valley. So let's go out to ABC 15 Live Drive and meteorologist Laura Thomas, who's helping us to track the storm.
Yeah, we were over originally just about 15-20 minutes ago on Indian School in the 101. Now we've come back around the 101 and we're headed west, basically at 44th Street here and the 202. And we're back in the severe thunderstorm warning. Very heavy rain, strong winds. You can see the visibility as you've just been looking at this live picture with me has dropped just in the last 10 to 15 seconds. We have strong winds out here, and at times we've even just had to stop, like get off the freeway and pull over and find shelter. We've seen a lot of people doing that as this heavy rain moves through and these winds pick up and kind of wait it out until things improve. And that's what we're driving back into right now. And as I mentioned, you can see the visibility dropping as this rain is picking up as we're headed to the west here on the 202. And also, Amber, as you mentioned, a ton of lightning out here with these thunderstorms tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the most widespread, most intense monsoon action we've seen yet. And this is our power outage risk index that we have on ABC 15 Desert Doppler. And it shows that risk for power outages across the valley. We're actually going to start to see this uptick in the West Valley now that we have that severe thunderstorm warning out. In fact, we have Katie right now tracking some of those outages, and we are hearing of some already.
Yeah, we're talking thousands of people without power, Amber, at this point. Let's get to the SRP outages. I can tell you right now, we've got 2,284 people without power in Glendale. Also SRP outages, about 1,600 people without power in Scottsdale. More than 1,000 in Apache Junction without power. Let's get you over to APS's map as well. And I know we're pulling some of these up in the computer to get time frames for you on when they think the power will be back on. But for APS in North Phoenix, about 1,600 people, another 1,300 people around Montebello to Campbell Avenue, Central to 12th Street. In Casa Grande, we've got 1,700 without power. And in Florence, 1,200 people without power. We're going to update all the times to get you sort of a ballpark on when things will be back on. But Kim, one of the most important things, not to open the freezer or the refrigerator, to try to keep things fresh in there, as you don't know how long this power is going to be out.
And take a look here. We're talking about when it rains, it sounds like it's pouring inside the ABC 15 studios. This time, it really was out there. Take a look at this video. The winds taking the rain just sideways in a lot of this. We hope you are hunkering down, staying safe inside. But again, a lot of you without that power tonight, so it might get a little hot in your homes too at this point.
We'll keep you updated right here on your cell phones, for those of you watching on your cell phones as well, and get you updated on all of this right after this short break.
Following breaking news and a weather action day, severe weather. Take a look at this video here. Our photographer Danny outside there taking a look at all that rain falling there.
Yeah, you see people trying to dodge the rain out there, get out of this as quick as they can. This was actually in Scottsdale just a few minutes ago, about the 101 and Indian School. So wild weather out there, Amber, and you're tracking winds as well.
Yeah, I mean, the winds are driving this rain sideways. In Tempe right now, gusts being reported at 62 miles per hour. We have them at 40 in Chandler, 49 in Deer Valley. Those are the strongest we're seeing across the valley right now. But with 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for both the East Valley and the West Valley, gusts over 60 miles per hour continue to be a possibility with this storm. You just saw seconds ago a brand new red polygon show up on this map. This is a flash flood warning. I'm going to walk back in just a couple of seconds and try to find out how long this is going to be in effect for. But what this means for you is that the flash flood warning means flooding is already happening. So this is an imminent threat. It's not the watch that we've been under throughout the day where we're just knowing there's a possibility. This is happening right now in the Phoenix Metro, flash flooding. So you need to stay inside. You need to try to get to some higher ground if you see those floodwaters coming down your way. This is a serious risk, especially considering what we've dealt with over the last day or so with people dying in floodwaters. Again, a flash flood warning now in effect for the valley. The severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect till 10:45 for the West Valley, 10:30 for the East Valley. And we're just going to continue to stay on this threat. It's going to be a long night for many of us. Lots of power outages, lots of lightning out there too. And these storms are sinking down to the south, but they are so strong. This is such a powerful cluster here, Katie, that it's going to be sticking around for quite some time.
From trail to river, what you're watching here, flash flooding moving the earth. This was in Payson, and you can see how that dry riverbed quickly turns into something that's deadly.
Hard to even comprehend. 9 people dead. Crews still searching for one more they hope is still out there.
They start the search again in the morning, and rescuers will be combing that area looking for a 27-year-old man near the Water Wheel Campground. The spot right near swimming holes, so popular among so many in that community as well as visitors. Get this, more than 100 people were swimming when the floodwaters swept away a family. 4 people were rescued. They are recovering from hypothermia tonight. Witnesses say people were literally clinging to the trees while the waters rushed past them out there.
And we are hearing from a close friend of the man who is still missing. A longtime friend of 27-year-old Hector Garnica tells us that his father, he's a father and a husband, he passed away.
I talked with him on the phone and he said that Hector worked at El Encanto restaurant in Cave Creek, and his co-workers, upon hearing this news about his family, beyond heartbroken.
It's completely devastating, and we're all speechless. I know his employers that he's worked with right now, that they closed for the day because of it.
I spoke with Tom on the phone for a while earlier tonight. He said that this was just a hard-working, loving family. Again, rescuers resume the search for Hector starting at 6 tomorrow morning. And a lot of viewers obviously wanting to share what they saw at the creek to better understand what happened out there yesterday. This latest footage coming in from Mindy Russell. She talked about being safe on a cliff, but overlooking that scene, looking down, seeing all of that water, and then the rescue helicopter trying to move in to help. Even our Governor Doug Ducey, sending his condolences to the victims of this deadly flash flood. He writes, the state will offer air support and other resources as this search continues. Now some perspective on the sheer power of that deadly flash flooding. Kim Tobin just headed outside the ABC 15 studios to give us a bit of a visual breakdown on this. Kim?
And Katie, we're bringing you out here to our ABC 15 parking garage to give you an idea. Starting at about the middle of this car, moving 6 spaces down all the way to that white van. That's how wide these floodwaters stretch, 40 feet. And if you can imagine, they were 6 feet high. That's about a foot over my head, raging at 35 miles per hour, full of debris, trees, rocks, and mud, moving so fast, this family did not have time to get out of its way. Katie?
Kim, thanks. Of course, this Weather Action Day hitting the valley right now. We're going through all of the incredible pictures that you're sending in to us. This new video just coming in from viewer Michael Castle, showing just the relentless rain out there, the strong winds. Look at all that lightning as well. We're told this is right near the 101 in Cactus. And more new video just coming in. This clip is from Santan Valley. And listen, you can just hear the rumbles of thunder as this thing started out there. Let's get back to Chief Meteorologist Amber Sullins in all of this. A wild night, Amber.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, I want to track some streets for you, but it's pretty much every street in the valley at this point getting in on this activity. Again, just a reminder, West Valley folks, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning. Gusts near 60 miles per hour possible with these storms. And they've now actually generated a big outflow boundary of 30 to 50 mile per hour gusts that's moving down to the south. So if you're in Maricopa and Casa Grande, those winds are headed your way. You need to watch out for that. And the flash flood warning I told you about just minutes ago, I told you we'd get you a time on it. It's in effect until 1:30 in the morning. So flash flooding happening right now across the center part of the valley. And even after the warning expires, we're still under a flash flood watch until 10 p.m. tomorrow as the threat continues. So we zoom in a little bit and get at least some of those streets on there for you. The US 60 right now heading out toward Power Road. So this is approaching Superstition Springs Mall. That's getting in on the heaviest rain. And as we get into the very deep reds here in the color scheme, the possibility of hail out there at the mall in that area. We're starting to see it fill into the south into Ahwatukee, and then of course still getting slammed across central Phoenix. Lots of rain falling at the airport as well as our West Valley cities at this hour. So we're going to stay on top of this threat. It's ongoing. Power outages, thousands of them, more possible as we head through this overnight forecast. And we'll talk more about what to expect for the rest of the week coming up in just a few minutes.
A Weather Action Day breaking news, live pictures from our ADOT camera. Standing water at I-17 in Dunlap, an area known for flooding there. You can see all the water in this spot. And ADOT did say that they do have one car that's stalled out in the area of Hayden and McDonald. Thankfully, nobody is trapped inside of that, so keep that in mind. Again, with all the power outages, thousands of them across the valley, ADOT reminding you that if you are out there, if anybody's going out, hopefully not, but if you are, treat everything like a four-way stop if that stoplight is out. We're keeping an eye on it. Amber is back with your live radar here in just moments.
More than 24 hours later, we've got a Peoria neighborhood still reeling from last night's storm. Neighbors there say it was the worst damage last night seen in years. We got to show you that scene left behind. Dozens of trees down in that area, pipes uprooted. APS crews out all night long trying to restore the power to hundreds of homes.
It never seen anything in such a small area do so much damage.
One of the big trees went down, and I turned around to come back this way, and of course these went down in front of me, so I was stranded between the two of them.
Well, many homeowners we spoke with say they're just happy this wasn't worse. We're obviously concerned about what's happening out there tonight as well. In Phoenix, fire crews and library staff working round the clock to fix the damage over at the Burton Bar Library downtown after all the flooding there. 300 drying fans and about 40 dehumidifiers working overtime spread throughout the 5-story library. Look at that, incredible. Most of the water damage, though, is on the top floor where that sprinkler pipe broke. Caused all that water to spill down into the library, Kim.
Wow, and again, talking about tonight, we do have a live picture here right outside the station. You can actually hear some sirens there in the background too. So we're thinking about those people who are on the road and definitely out there in the elements tonight. But again, steady rain. The difference, just a few minutes makes. The storm did move through very quickly in this spot, but there's a lot of activity out there, a ton of lightning too, Amber.
A ton of lightning, and we're just starting to get some of the storm reports in, the official ones anyway. So I wanted to highlight just a few of those for you and just remind you about the flash flood warning that's in effect till 1:30 in the morning for the majority of the valley. Here's a look at some of these storm reports. I'm going to click at some of the icons you see on the screen here. This one coming from Scottsdale, a 4-inch diameter tree broken, gust estimated at 50 miles per hour. A similar down tree report up in North Scottsdale, 8 to 10 trees blown down, 5 to 8 inches in diameter there, and down street signs in Northeast Scottsdale too. In the West Valley, we have a hail report, over 1/4 of an inch hail out there. This is in Litchfield Park, and of course a heavy rain report, which is coming in all over the valley at this point, but we're talking about a 1/2 inch in 30 minutes. So I'm just putting together some of the rainfall totals that are coming in from the flood control district over the last hour, and coming up in just minutes I'll have those for you along with a look at your 7-day forecast.
In the Ring, sponsored by Sanderson Ford.
Hard to believe that it's the middle of July and it's almost football season.
It is almost football season. Cards camp.
Yeah.
This week.
We'll talk about that tonight along with some baseball and other things. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
Topic number 1, the Arizona Diamondbacks on a decline. Time for panic button?
Oh yeah, it's over.
No, stop.
It's not. But it is crazy to see how much a difference 10 games can make, right?
Oh my gosh.
Dodgers go 9-1 the last 10 games. D-backs 2-8.
Yeah.
The good news is, look, they're not catching the Dodgers in the division. It's
Probably
just not
not.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Wild card still looks good. There's 70 games left. Let's be honest, for them to right the ship. But you know who scares me? Those Cubbies.
Yeah,
they
the
even
Cubbies
acquired
are on
Jose Quintana today.
And the Rockies are just one game back in that wild card. It's getting a little iffy right now. I said after game 1, they're heading to the World Series. They've been playing really well.
You did.
They've been playing really well up to this point. They've lost 5 straight. That's a season high. 8 of the last 9, 11 of the last 14. It's not looking good. They've got to right the ship this week in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to do it. They just seem out of sync, don't they?
Yeah. Topic number 2. You ready for this? Basketball. Big Baller brand. Not a big baller. Lonzo Ball started the summer league with wearing his ZO2s. Now he's gone to Nikes. He's gone to Adidas, to Under Armour, and then Jordan 31s tonight.
Yeah, he was asked earlier today, are you starting some sort of bidding war? And he said something like that.
Something like that.
He's kind of admitting it. And you know what? I hate to admit it. It's working. I mean, everyone's talking about the shoes. They're taking advantage of it being the summer league, and nothing's interesting in the summer.
Right.
But still, what's everyone talking about right now?
Every move they make, we follow. Right?
Yes.
Whether LeVar says it, what Lonzo does on the court.
We feed their machine.
LeVar says it's making a statement to the brands of what they could have had with an open mind.
Here's the thing, though. They're starting a bidding war, but no one in their right mind is going to sign a $3 billion deal for a guy who's never played an NBA game.
That ain't happening right now.
Lower your price, LeVar.
Exactly. Not gonna happen. Hey, topic number 3. Cardinals on the verge. They report Friday to training camp. First practice is Saturday at University of Phoenix Stadium. Your top concern right now heading into camp?
This is a no-brainer. It's actually the same concern as I had heading into the last season.
What is it?
Cornerback position opposite Patrick Peterson. No question about it. It's going to be Justin Bethel and Brandon Williams battling it out this upcoming training camp. The question is, are either of them good enough to play Patrick Peterson? Obviously, every quarterback will be targeting the guy on the other side. If they can't do it, they got to bring in a veteran that can.
My concern, Carson Palmer. Get this, he was down in TDs from 35 to 26 last year, up in interceptions from 11 to 14, down in completion percentage. His QBR was down, his quarterback rating was down. He was the third most hit quarterback in the league last year. I mean, that's my concern. You've got to keep Carson upright. He's got to be healthy and have a great year.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about keeping him healthy than his numbers. I think he'll jump right back on track.
All right, guys, thank you. We do want to get back to your weather and all those power outages, thousands of them around the valley, but we want you to take a look at this. SRP's website, if you're trying to check out if your area is affected, we're trying to do that for you too, and you can see they're having some problems. So many people trying to go to the website that they're not having any of that information available. Too many people trying to check in on their neighborhoods, but we know there are thousands of them, about 2,000 in Glendale, 1,600 in Scottsdale, 1,000 in Apache Junction for SRP. APS's website still working a bit. We can also hear the thunder here in the ABC 15 studio, so if you are hearing some of that thunder outside, we're right along there with you too. APS dealing with about 3,000 power outages in North Phoenix, and then also about 1,700 in Casa Grande. So we're checking in on this, but again, be careful out there because a lot of you are dealing with no power. We're probably going to deal with that when we go home too, Katie.
Yeah, it looks like it from what we can see on these maps as well. And if you're at home with no power, it is still the best place to stay because look at this out on the roads right now. We've got pooling on the I-10. This is underneath in the Deck Park Tunnel. Obviously, it's dangerous to drive through this. People are still trying to do it using the left lane there to get by. But that thing is flooded. So dangerous, so bad for your car as well as people try to get home or stay off the roads at this point. So don't head out. We've been tracking the storm. New video coming in from Guadalupe and Hardy as well. We've heard of some violent winds out there, and you can hear them on the microphone of this video as well. Let's head out to Laura in the live drive and find out what more we can garner about what's happening out there. Laura?
Well, for us right now, we're here on the 143, just exited off the I-10, and we're headed back north, and the rain picking up a little bit. Still seeing a lot of lightning out there, a lot of ponding on the roadways all across the valley. In fact, driving's been a little bit tough. You have some hydroplaning taking place. You see a lot of cars driving slow, trying to make sure that they're taking things easy. A lot of people driving with their flashers on tonight as well, and as I mentioned just about 30 minutes ago, a lot of cars having to pull off the roadways off into parking lots to just wait for the visibility to improve. Things okay for us now. Right now, I'd say here on the 143 as we head north towards the airport, we have some moderate rainfall, but again, still a lot of lightning, breezes, not too bad here. Of course, we've Amber been watching that outflow boundary with you, and still looking at it here on the radar from the live drive and see that those strongest winds down to the south right now.
Yeah, we're checking on those rainfall totals too. Of course, they're still coming in. So just because you see 0 on the map doesn't mean you've actually got nothing. It means that the gauge is still going, and we'll get an update here soon. But this is just in the last hour or so. Scottsdale and Litchfield Park, nearly 3/4 of an inch of rain. And again, those totals are increasing as we speak. Flash flooding is occurring, which is why that flash flood warning has been issued. And the severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect for the West Valley has been reissued just a little bit farther down to the south. This does include Buckeye. It's in effect until 11:15 tonight as that storm continues to progress down to the south. The flash flood warning till 1:30 in the morning here for us, and spots down to the south of the valley are finally starting to get some rain out of this as it continues to push their direction. So Sun Lake seeing those showers and thunderstorms pop up right on top of them. A little bit of rain down near Casa Grande, a little bit so far in Maricopa, but much more is on the way as this whole cluster pushes down to the south over the next hour or so. Of course, we're still watching storms to the east out near Globe, still watching the rain up near Payson. Multiple flash flood warnings in effect up in the Tonto National Forest right now, and still some heavy rain up north of the 101 here into Deer Valley and parts of Cave Creek at this hour, and lots of lightning. That's been the big thing with this. We're hearing the thunder here too. At the airport, still coming down hard. Rain lightning up just a little bit in central Phoenix, but farther on out to the east, it is still pouring down in buckets, and we're seeing it along the 60 past Surprise all the way up nearly to Whitman right now, as well as areas down south near Buckeye starting to fill in too. So this is what we're watching now, and it's going to continue at least for the next couple of hours, if not longer. The biggest storm threats here for us, high winds that could cause damage. We've seen that already with downed trees, heavy rain and flooding. All of these valley storm threats on the high risk for tonight and for tomorrow with a flash flood watch still in effect throughout the day tomorrow here in the valley. It's cooling us down significantly, though. 73 degrees right now at Phoenix Sky Harbor. Lows will recover a little bit in the overnight forecast after the rain stops, but we're still going to be in the 70s overnight. A nice relief. We'll see low 100s for the start of the week, and then the drier air gets here about midweek. Definitely into Friday, we'll see that rain chance down to just 10% as temperatures rebound closer to normal. 106 by Friday. We're back with more right after this.
A weather action day here at ABC 15, and obviously a lot of breaking news. Look at this. Plenty of you sending in video, and we appreciate that if you can safely do so. This was actually in from the Hampton Inn in the Midtown Phoenix area, so that'd be Thomas and Central, I believe, is the closest cross streets, but the wind's just picking things up that normally wouldn't move that quick. Thanks to Mallory for sending this over. And we've got a live picture from our ADOT cameras as well, all that pooling on the I-10, and it's causing a pretty big backup right now. It is dangerous to drive in this. You can see cars still are doing so on the left-hand lane there, Kim.
We did talk about, too, that they are dealing with a lot of those cars that are having some problems there. There's another one, Hayden and McDonald, that there is a stalled out car in that area. Some closing roads around there. Nobody trapped in that vehicle, though. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Amber Sullins with more, Amber.
Yeah, I'm just looking on Twitter right now. Lots of damage reports coming in, too, with these high winds that have been gusting over 60 miles per hour. Tons of lightning, lots of heavy rain. I am going to freeze frame this here for you just so we can get a perspective on some of the neighborhoods that are starting to lighten up a bit. So northern portions of Mesa, we also have a couple of gaps here in the radar, it looks like, over South Chandler. So we do have some valley neighborhoods that are a little bit on the dry side, but overall it is still coming down hard, and we're going to get another check coming up in just a couple of minutes.